What is going on, YouTube Fitness family? We got my good friend and colleague, Greg Doucette, in the house. We are going to put Greg through a workout. He's going to go from Coach Greg to Student Greg today. And I know he loves to do like full body circuits. What I did is I put him together a full body burner workout. It should take no more than like 45 minutes, but it's gonna hit almost every major muscle group. So if you guys are looking for an insane full body workout you can do like, let's say 3 days a week, look no further. Greg, excited?
I can't wait. I haven't lifted weights in 3 days, so I'm ready for a full body killer.
All right, let's run it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is a quad bias, almost sissy squat leg press variant. So what we're gonna do is take a foam roller. If you guys have a half one, like one that's only half the width, that's better because then you have to worry about it hitting the safety guides. What we're gonna do is put it under our butt, and what that's gonna do is allow us to have more range of motion here. So the back plate's pretty far back here. We're gonna have low foot placement, and what we're gonna do is use this to garner more range of motion. So we're gonna let the heels come off at the bottom of the rep and almost look it in. So the butt is not gonna come off, but the heels can come off slightly, and we're gonna go as deep as we possibly can. Usually I'll do this heavier so it'll push it even farther, but literally I need the weight to force me down. So we're gonna get a big stretch, get about a 1 count pause, and then we're gonna push out through the toes till we get about 3/4 of the way up, and then we're gonna go right back into our next rep. So we have constant tension on the quads with a stretch bias, meaning the more knee flexion we get, the more stretch we're getting through the quads, and obviously the more stimulus, more hypertrophy. So it's a great way for you guys to use less weight to drive more stimulus. So we're gonna put Greg through the first set here.
All right, shoulder width, roughly?
About shoulder width, yep.
As low as is comfortable?
That's perfect, yep.
Okay.
So we're gonna go nice, slow, eccentric load. As stretch as you feel comfortable, and then push up to about there, that's perfect. Good, nice control. So breathing, I want nice controlled breathing throughout the rep. Don't try to hold your breath and then explode out. Nice controlled breathing throughout. So slow eccentric load. Nice big stretch. That's perfect. See how much knee flexion he's getting there?
It's so much harder than it looks, especially at the bottom.
Yep, I'm gonna help you out. So I'm gonna give you about 20% assistance at the bottom and push out, there you go. So I'm gonna give him a little drop set. Since we're only doing a few sets, I wanna make sure that he gets the most out of each one. So we're gonna do a drop set, and we're gonna reduce the weight as we go. So Greg, to keep going, we're gonna go harder than last time.
Oh yeah.
So this is another way that we can drive stimulus by reducing the weight, because as he gets closer and closer to failure, even though I'm reducing the weight, he's still going to continue to drive hypertrophy, because now he's able to keep going, even though obviously at 4 plates he was done. Now we're down to just 1 plate. Now we're down just to the press. Here we're gonna go for 3 more. Good, last one, I got you. Big rep here. Nice big pause at the bottom of this one. I'm gonna help you hold it. So all the way down, deeper, 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 and out. Good, and back.
Yeah, it's way harder than it looks. 2 reps in, I'm like, oh yeah, I got this, and then by rep 4, it's like
if you guys start adding tempo and more range of motion to your training, you'll start using weight that you thought was easy, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, like literally this is crushing me. What used to be like my warm-up weight, so you can see he's on fire. So we're gonna
your warm-up weight's your top end set.
We're gonna
literally.
We're gonna take this. He's got fatigue built up. We're gonna give him a little rest. We're gonna go right over to the quad extension, and we're gonna do a stretch bias quad extension. So same thing. I wanna put this in the most stretched position, and if that wasn't messed up enough, we're gonna take this, we're gonna stick this underneath. This is gonna be essentially right underneath our butt. We're gonna move it all the way to the front, basically right behind our knees, and then we're just gonna sit over the top of it. So essentially, we're using it to create more stretch. We're gonna drop the seat all the way back, and you see now it's underneath the back of my legs. We're gonna reach underneath, leaning back, and you see how much stretch I get there? So this one is all focused on the stretch. Big peak contraction at the top, slow eccentric, coming all the way underneath. See how I reach back for it? I'm getting a huge amount of stretch. You'll feel this all the way up through the adductor, and then we're gonna push up and squeeze as high as we can until we basically top out the machine. So this is probably about 40% of what Greg would normally do weight-wise, but because this is gonna be so stretch biased, you're gonna go even way lighter than you normally would. So we're gonna go all the way back, lean all the way back. There it is, and hold your butt down using these handles here.
Geez.
There you go. Look at these quads, man. It's crazy. Big stretch underneath. Good. Squeeze. Slow on the down. Roll forward, big stretch. Big stretch, roll forward, and then up. There it is. Big as you can, and then up. That's nice. Good, squeeze. All the way underneath, push forward. Good.
Yeah, you gotta really push forward to get the stretch there. Yeah, I see that.
There it is.
Yep.
Nice. These look perfect. Big squeeze all the way up through here. All the way up through here. That's perfect. Good. We're almost at failure here. Now we're gonna do 4 stretch partials. So now we're gonna all the way down to the bottom, find the stretch position, push forward, all the way forward. We're not gonna come back. We're only gonna go halfway up for 4. Slow. Halfway up. 1, 2, 3 more. 2. Halfway up. 2 more. Last one. Nice, and come out of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm walking crooked.
Yeah, right?
It's
almost like therapeutic, right? To get that huge stretch.
It feels like I did 10 sets right now.
Yeah, and it's like literally, what would that be normally as compared to what you do?
I usually lift the stack.
Yeah. So look at how much he has on there. He has
30 pounds.
70 pounds.
Oh, 70.
70 pounds, 30 kilos. So like, you have to think, it's more about how much stimulus you're driving. You can drive so much more stimulus using more range of motion than, because the leverage becomes so much harder because now you're digging underneath, you're stretching that quad so much more, and with that extra range of motion, it becomes 10 times harder. So now we're gonna do literally 1 more of each of those. He's done with legs for today.
Yeah, I'll be sore tomorrow. Probably even just from just that, I'll be sore.
Big stretch, push. Good, 1 more. Yeah, there it is. Good.
Oh, this is harder than that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the hardest part for there is getting at the top and getting your ass down. Like it's, that's a challenge with only the 4th plate on the stack. Now I know these pads come in different firmness, we'll call it. Would it be all right to use a softer one, like the blue ones sometimes are really soft?
Yeah,
would it be just as good, or does it depend on the person?
I would say I recommend maybe the softer one, but the only thing is I broke 2 of these yesterday doing these because I do the stack. Yeah. So it's so much pressure that I split it and it basically exploded everywhere, and there's all the black beads all over the floor.
Yeah. So maybe the
blue one is better. So we're gonna do a little 4-part circuit here. We're gonna start with crossover lying cable raises on this functional trainer. So we're gonna lie back. We're gonna have the cables just above body height. We're gonna raise laterally to here, basically where we're at shoulder height, or just slightly higher, about 180 degrees with the arms. Slow eccentric load. If you have the right, we're gonna go slightly right over left if you've basically set up right over left. Big stretch to the medial delt. Drive up, squeeze, slight elbow bend. So I see a lot of people raising with straight arms. You don't wanna raise with, you wanna raise with just 170 degrees. We're talking about the slightest elbow bend, and we're not bending and unbending. We're keep maintaining that same elbow angle throughout the whole raise. So we're not here and then bending at the bottom like this, or vice versa, straight here and then doing this. We're gonna maintain that almost straight arms, about 170 degrees. Big squeeze, slow eccentric control, crossover, big stretch. Keep those hands back, squeeze that lateral delt.
Now, what do you think's more important, the beginning of this exercise or the finish? Like, let's say I can't get it the whole way up. Should I just keep going halfway?
Yes, I would say.
Or is that just ego lifting? What do you think?
The eccentric and the stretch positioning should be the most important part. So the eccentric loading on the way down and then finding that stretch, those are gonna be the 2 most important. But I would say the most important is the eccentric load. So if you can get only halfway up and then still get a super slow negative, that's gonna be the most important.
All right, so I'm gonna focus like really going slow on the down portion and then get that stretch at the bottom.
Raise to there, slow eccentric control. crossing all the way over. I want to turn the hands slightly here. There it is.
So pinky up higher, okay.
Pinky up higher, so you can keep it more medial delt. So the more you rotate the hands down, the more we can keep it in the delt. Shoulders striding harder than last time. So you look at that stretch this, you see his shoulders like light up. That's because we're coming across the body and getting maximal stretch. And then it's disabling any momentum. So this exercise is great because you can't ego lift. You can't use your hips and your lower back to drive the movement up. It's all controlled that you see, literally see it. There's like no denying the medial delts are just on. And this is going to also help us disable the traps from taking over, because when you're standing, you can obviously shrug the shoulders. This makes it very hard to shrug your shoulders.
It's like nothing I've ever felt.
Good.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I never do cable stuff for delts, so I never get the pain at the bottom. I'm always doing this, and it's a totally different feeling. Yeah, it's burning deep.
Yep. So we're going to do another stretch bias exercise for front delts now.
Like,
so
I can barely hold my arms up.
yeah,
nuts.
man, it's a different game.
And what did I have? Like nothing? Like 5 pounds?
It was 30 on there, so it was nothing. It
like,
was,
yeah.
It's definitely. So we're gonna go here now. We're gonna go up, basically chest on the upper chest on the bench, and now we're gonna raise front raise to about here. Slow eccentric control. See how I still have that elbow bend?
Yeah.
Same one we talked about 170 degrees. We're gonna reach back as far as we can, and then we're gonna raise to about here. Slow eccentric, same thing. Disables any use of momentum. Gonna control it all through the front delt. Reach back for it, up to here. We don't wanna shrug the shoulders and go here, drop the shoulders, and we wanna be nice and controlled through the front delt. So you see how the shoulders are nice and relaxed. We're not shrugging up to the ears. We're keeping the shoulders down and focusing all of that emphasis in the front delt. So not here, we're here, drop right up to the front.
So how important is it to kind of go from an outward position to coming close together at the top? Like I notice you're coming out like this, kind of like a butterfly stroke, and you're coming this way together.
So it just gives that force curve is nice, because now we're out here getting that additional stretch to the front delt, and then coming up and in is going to allow for a really nice peak contraction. So it's not essential, but it's just a nice little extra touch to have that additional stretch outward before kind of like scooping it in and up.
But better to bring in than just say kind of coming up like this.
No, you definitely want to come. You definitely want to
together.
converge. So up, and we're going to converge here. So see how you're coming. So I don't want you to loop it like that.
I feel like it's too heavy.
I would say come more straight in. That's much better. Any pain on these or no?
No, it feels good.
Okay.
I just don't think I can get like 15 reps
No,
with it.
I don't want you to get 15. That's fine. We'll go for like 1 or 2 more full reps.
No, it's solid. It's good. It feels good.
Yep. I can get you some force reps too. Up, up, up. Slow. Brutal.
It's hard.
It's hard.
No, it feels good though. I feel like I could use half the weight and still be good.
Yeah.
So just put the lowest weight you see on the bar and give that a try.
Give that a try and see how it goes.
Man, that's hard, yeah.
So you got your blood rolling now. We're gonna hit some triceps. So we're gonna do, since we got this right here, we're gonna do some stretch bias dips. So I actually want you to use the assist, because I know you probably can do a good amount of regular body weight dips, but what I wanna focus on is getting the biggest stretch possible. So we're gonna come here. We're gonna use the pad to keep us nice and upright. We're gonna push as deep as we can, comfortably, keeping the chest nice and open. We're gonna super big stretch, pause on the stretch, and then slowly push out all the way up to a squeeze position. So slow eccentric. We're not exploding out. We're getting as big a stretch as we comfortably can, and then we're gonna slowly push out all the way up into that big contracted position. So obviously, this, if you have limited time, dip is gonna hit all heads of the tricep. So you've got medial, long, short. A dip is gonna hit all of them really effectively. So you have limited time. Instead of maybe doing an overhead bias or a push down, which is gonna be, one's gonna be long head, one's gonna be short and medial head. This dip, especially if you get a big stretch, is gonna get all 3 heads very effectively. So we'll see how you like it.
All right, so focusing on really being upright quite a bit, and the deeper the stretch, the better.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's almost like you want to really like focus on digging as deep as possible. And then instead of exploding up, which a lot of people do with dips, I'll explode. I want to really consciously drive all the way up into the contracted position.
All right.
As big of a stretch as we can through that tricep. Big stretch. And then slow, nice and controlled up to completely contracted and squeeze. There you go. Perfect. And every rep I want to dig for another like ½ inch of range of motion at the bottom. So the more we get opened up, and so that's why this training is so therapeutic, because the more reps we do, the more we're actually opening up the tissue. That's why sometimes I'll feel like if I take 3 or 4 days off the gym, which is rare, but my body actually feels the tightest because I'm not going to train. And every time I train, I'm like opening up the tissue because I'm training in those lengthened positions under load. It just keeps my body so much healthier. So I actually feel tighter when I'm not training, where I have like 3 really solid days of training in a row. My body actually feels the best. Good, put your foot up all the way, rack the weight. Okay, now we're gonna go more assisted, and we're gonna go 10 slightly faster reps.
Unassisted?
Assisted.
Oh, okay.
Slightly more assisted, so I put even more assisted.
Okay.
So 10, just slightly faster reps, down and up. 1, 2, 9, and 10. Good job.
I feel it in my chest almost as much as my tricep. I suppose that's normal.
It's normal. Anytime you're going to be doing something that's compound like this, you'll definitely, especially with a big stretch, you'll feel chest on a tricep, like on a dip.
And honestly, it's better if I'm trying to get in a 45-minute workout. I want to hit every body part as much as possible during any exercise.
Exactly. So
2 for the price of 1.
There you go. So and you can see how much sweating, good blood flow, but also like everyone else folks are, oh, I'm going to do weighted dips to build my chest and tries. Like, how much harder was that than like probably like
it's harder than doing it, on your own.
And to explain
slowing it down. Yeah.
Explain that modality. Something I do all the time is like I'll do some really slow controlled reps, and I'll either go lighter or just go from those super slow ones to slightly faster ones, because then you get the slow twitch, fast twitch, but you're doing the faster reps like with the weight you were able to do the super slow control reps. You're so much less likely to get injured with that same weight, or even like less weight, a little more explosive, than if you were to go right into like just going heavy and gripping and ripping it.
And it's almost the opposite of how most people train. Most people are cutting corners. They're not getting the stretch at all. They're like getting close to that stretch and they're like, oh, I got to stop here. But here we're leaning into it. And I really like that. I find that it's going to make it a lot safer. You're not ego lifting and you just get a much better workout.
Yes, sir. And now we're going to hit curls with the bias being the stretch position. So the way this force curve is hitting, it's going to maximally tax us actually in the stretch position. So we're sit up here, curl, squeeze, engage the core, big stretch, reaching behind you as far as you can. So that's what I'm saying. You have more of a stretch bias here than a contraction bias. If we were to do it flipped around the other way, then you're gonna have more basically contraction bias. So leaning forward slightly, big stretch, squeeze here, slow eccentric, focusing on the stretch, reaching back as far as you possibly can, curling up, turning the pinkies up slightly, squeezing in.
Now, how important is the height of this at the start of the movement? Like, is it better to come from the bottom or kind of straight on?
So the reason I have it here is because then you get more stretch, because as you come back, if the cable is higher, it's going to be getting more stretch than if it was the bottom, because then you're here and it basically stops.
Yeah.
So that vector force coming from higher is going to pull us up and give us more stretch, and that's where you get that stretch bias.
So basically, in line with your body. Correct. As you're seated.
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't want to over curl. It's going to curl, so big stretch, and then we're just going to curl to where it basically goes right to there. Stop it right there. There it is. So that's another thing. People kind of try to over curl. They'll kind of like pull it all the way up. At the end of the day, this is as far as you need to go. Because once you start to pull up, you're basically either using traps or front delts. Good. Let's do a little bit of an ergonomic movement. So lean back on the stretch, and then use the little body English and pull it forward. There it is. Little body English, big stretch. Pull it forward. There you go. Look at the pump. Look at the pump, though.
Man, I mean, it's just like the burn inside the muscle is so deep.
How much Turk did you take for this workout?
How much Turk?
Turk.
3 this morning.
3 this morning. Make sure you go pick it up from the HCLT.
Maybe I took too much.
Yeah.
Man, it just feels crazy.
It's awesome. All right, cool. That's,
like I can't even flex my arm like right now. It's like there's so much of a burn.
You look crazy.
Like I feel like I can't really see myself, but I feel like I just pumped up for bodybuilding. Like
there you go. You can see this mirror lighting is crazy. Step up here. Look, check it out. Check out that pump. Still got it, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One set of biceps all pumped. It's crazy.
The mini fan is crazy. I love it.
Oh.
Do you always carry that around with you?
Absolutely always. I bring it to restaurants. I live with it. I sleep with it.
I need to take.
It's my best friend.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do the back and chest. Finish off one exercise each. Should be plenty to torch you since you already got a little chest on the tricep.
Chest is pumped, yeah.
So what we're gonna do is, obviously you guys probably won't have the same exact Panada machine, but if you have a press, what you can do is modify it with either a foam roller. We have this extra pad here I put on here to get even more range of motion. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push this out. We're gonna drop down. And this is like a really nice position. See how it's right in the chest? I'm gonna go almost straight legs, so this is gonna come out and almost hit our legs because we're gonna get so much range of motion. So you see I tuck the elbows about 45 degrees, and I'm gonna get as much stretch as I possibly can, reaching back and then pushing down and through, squeezing, tracking those elbows at about a 45 degree, opening up the chest, reaching back as far as you can. It's really opening up and then pushing down and through, staying on top of the weight and then driving, dropping the shoulders, but still driving through. Get that big peak contraction, and that's why you need the legs straight, because if you come bent legs, this thing will hit you in the legs. So you're gonna like this one a lot.
I'm shorter, it might not even affect me, but we'll see.
Drop the shoulders though. We don't wanna take over with the front delt. Drop the shoulders and squeeze through, that's perfect. And I wanna be a little wider with the hands, so it's not so tricep focused right there. That's beautiful. There you go. Squeeze through, slow eccentric. Drop the elbows just a bit. That's it right there. Feel that? Stretch in the chest. And right, that's perfect. You see that difference though, when he started to light up the chest by not having it so chicken wing? Right there. Dropping the shoulders, good. Squeeze. Big, open, pause in the stretch. Pause, pause, pause. Push through, all chest. Nice, look at this freaking chest, dude.
I still feel my bicep pump, even from that set.
How's the chest pump on that?
Everywhere's pumped.
Good.
Yeah.
So a lot of you guys will have something similar to this hammer strength row. So what I want to do is I want to plant this foot and I'm going to have this forearm so I can get more range of motion. We're going to grab this inside handle. And what we're going to do is we're going to lean out because we're going to expose the lat to start. So we're going to expose that lat, keep the chest nice and high, stretch through that lat, and then we're going to dig in and squeeze, tuck it right into the body. So lean out, get a huge stretch of the lat, use this forearm to plant, drive in and squeeze. Big stretch, drive.
So basically, get as far of a stretch as possible here, and then just kind of hold it for a second, and then pull in.
Yep, pull it in, drop the shoulder, retract the scap. Still keep the chest proud, so stretch through the lat. So keep the chest open. Feel that different stretch there, now pull in. There it is. So I want you to stretch with the lat, not the bicep. So maintain a slight elbow and then reach with the lat. Maintain that elbow bend and then pull there. Feel the difference? So you're not stretching with the bicep, you're stretching with the lat.
Okay, like lean with the lat first.
Lean with the lat and then pull with the lat. Yeah, pull with the elbow. Yeah, there it is. So that's one cue I like to use a lot with people is think that you're not pulling with your hand. Think you're always pulling with your elbow on most back movements. You want to feel like your hand's just a conduit holding onto the mechanism. Really what we're pulling with is our elbow because that's what's connected through here and right directly into our back. So we got the straps on. I always recommend people doing back movements use straps. You never want your grip to be your limiter when you're hitting back, right? So obviously your back is such a bigger muscle group than what really supports your grip and your forearms. And it's not even your full forearms. It's basically like this section is what controls grip. And you're trying to keep up with your entire back, especially on time under tension, it's not gonna happen. And I hear this argument every day of like, oh, well then my forearms are gonna be small. And I'm like, are my forearms, I've been using Cobra grips since I was literally 22 and using lifting straps even before that. So like, no, your forearms are not gonna be fucking small. If you're doing this much time under tension, even with the grips, I'm sure his forearms will be screaming after this, even with the grips.
The last 3 seconds of the lift, that extra stretch is what I don't usually get because I'm so used to doing two arms at the same time. But like this, I can get that extra bit that I don't usually get. And
I'll show you really quick. Like, look how much difference that is for me personally. Look at with me being tall, I'm already bottoming out. Watch the difference of this here versus this. because I'm creating like 6 extra inches of range of motion. And so this is what I mean by stretching with the lat. So I'm still, see how the lat's still on? So I'm not here.
Got a line stretching.
So I'm stretching with the slight elbow bend, keeping the chest open, stretching the lat. So I think that's where people are like, oh, well, if you like stretch out far, your lats are gonna get disengaged. It's like, no, my lats are still completely engaged, even in that deep stretch, because I still maintain that slight elbow bend, dropping the shoulder and keeping the chest open. And then the lats completely on throughout the entire course of the movement. And I'm tracking low, keeping the emphasis in the lat, opening, lats still super engaged, even that stretch position. So that's what I want you to focus is stretch, but stretch here instead of here.
I think for me, I would like probably to do the partials at the end, and just because I like it so much to stretch, just do like maybe 3 or 4 reps at the end of the set and just really get that burn from that stretch.
And that is a wrap, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Greg, what do you think?
I think it's been 30 minutes and I still hardly can move my arms. So it was really good.
It's good. Yeah, so biggest thing, guys, really focus on eccentric control, stretch, really focusing on the stretch. It's going to explode your physique. If you want to get more training videos like this, follow my page. I do a ton of like top exercises, form cueing. I also have an app that's dropping, which is going to be amazing. You're going to get even more discounts on HCLT than last time. You get 50% off Greg's cookbook when you sign up for the app. So please, please support me, support the brand, sign up for the app. Also, if you're not subscribed to Greg's channel, literally the best channel on YouTube. So go and subscribe there, and also support us. Get your HCLT subs, get Turk Plus, get GO2 Max. Go get the best protein, best tasting protein on the market. Greg, what else am I missing?
Missed nothing. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Great having you coach me.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see you guys on the next video.